Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we got another arm day going off. Today, the way I'm doing my first superset is going to be, I'm starting off with curls on 30s, and then I'm going to be doing just straight dual arm curls, and then from there I'm going to be doing 10 skull crushers, dropping down with a 25 to doing, another 10, just so I can feel the burn in my arms 100%. And then I'm going to follow off at the end with some forearm curls. Honestly, I like this workout because it like, I don't know, it brings out my arms a lot, yo. So fuck it, let's get started. All right. Whenever it comes to these workouts, I tend not to really care too much about that weight. I go up to anywhere between 45s or 50 depending on the day. But today I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling vascular. Don't really feel weak, even though I'm on a cut today. Kind of feel strong. Ugh. There we go. 10. Get a little water. And honestly, with this one, I try to keep the intensity high. That way, instead of like going little by little by little, I'm feeling the burn the entire session. There you go. Let's get these skull crushers going. And with skull crushers, I always set them up right here. Take a seat. And then you just press up. This is honestly one workout I don't see too many people doing. Skull crushers. And honestly, that's what builds up the tricep a lot. I mean, bicep. All right. Ooh. Honestly, sometimes days at the gym be taxing on your body, but more on your mind because you're tired from not sleeping, staying up late, work, or even just like too many people don't talk to you throughout the day, so you got a fucking headache. But even so, I tend to find a shit workout hits me way better than no workout. You know, just keep consistency. This year, I find a new goal that I'm having is to say, fuck your feelings. It doesn't matter how I feel or anything like that. I'm going more towards what's it called? Putting in the actions needed, regardless of how I feel. And that's something I've done for the past 4 years, but uh, haven't taken days off, haven't taken vacation days, or anything like that. So I'm gonna be doing a vision board in order to kind of live life more in a way, you know. All right, so in line with the progressive overload, I tend to do with every single workout. I just move everything up except for the. I didn't record that, but the forearm curls. The way I do those is I start off with 40s and I work my way up to 60s. That way I can feel a really good burn right here, especially since I mean most people tend not to do many workouts with this, even me. I only have like one or two main movements that I have specifically targeted for this, and one of them is in this workout. So let's get it started. All right. With these, I tend to go as high as between anywhere like 40, 45, depending on how I'm feeling. The bicep burn I get on these is very nice. And honestly speaking, biceps are like one of my genetic strong points. So maybe I'm not going to be working them out as much as other underdeveloped muscle groups. Like for me, my shoulders seem to be a little bit underdefined for the rest of my body. Like, haven't targeted too many workouts with them. It's gonna change though. Starting this year. Oh, wait, skull crushers. All right, same setup. Ooh. Uh, you know, I tend to find goal setting pretty hard because I'm always working, never give myself enough free time to go ahead and properly think about where I want to head. So half the time, I just do action, action, action. So now this year, I'm setting aside a lot of time to actually set goals that I feel are worth achieving. Like this year, I have a goal of selling a house every single month. And now, honestly, that's what, like, one of the biggest goals I've ever set. To be honest, part of it sounds impossible, but I'm gonna be doing actions that I need to be doing in order to make these goals in order to achieve these goals I want. Like right now, I'm gonna be dialing like 200 people a day, introducing myself as a real estate agent, a professional, and honestly, I've already gotten 2 meetings from that, and it's only been a couple months. It's only been not even a couple months. It's been under a month since I've been with this new company. So, you know, progress is coming. Oh, one thing I got to do, honestly, I've been slacking on my hour of cardio. Um, an hour is crazy, but honestly, for you to have endurance for any kind of bodybuilding competition, to have that kind of being able to hold those positions for a while, it takes endurance, brother. And honestly, I have decent endurance, but like imagine right now, I have not been hitting my cardio, have not been running more than a mile if I don't need to, and right now my endurance is pretty good, and that's not training it. Imagine how good my endurance would be if I trained it 1 hour each day. You know, right now I'm okay, but shit, if I did that, I might be closer to the David Goggins type of um, mentality when it comes to running. But right now, it's not really fun to me. So I'm planning on investing in like a stationary bike, so I could just use that for like an hour a day in the morning, so I don't have to drive out to the gym and then drive back, shower, get ready for work. It's a headache. But just because it's a headache doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Because the reason I find most people don't work out at all, even though they've put it as part of their New Year's resolution every single year, is because they don't make it easier for them to hit the gym. You know, they say an excuse like, "Oh shit, I work all day. I can't fucking go to the gym." Instead of waking up early, going to the gym, sacrificing a little sleep so you can be healthier, you know. And in line with something that a role model of mine, Alex Ramosi, he always says is, in the past, I used to have the mentality that fuck, this is so hard. This goal that I have is so hard to achieve for me, a person who I think has some talent. And then I give myself like some kind of out, like fuck, this is hard. I can't believe I have to go through this. So now switching to the mentality, fuck, this is hard. I'm glad it's hard because if I'm having a hard time getting through it, just imagine the next person. They're not the type that goes whether they feel good, whether they're upset. They're not the ones that go regardless of what happens to them. But I will be. So therefore, it's no longer sorry me. It's I feel bad for everyone else. And that mentality, it really transforms you to be a different kind of fucking person. A person that is uh, an example for their family, a person that isn't lazy, that has problems in their life and is able to overcome those. And I don't know about y'all, but for a first generation immigrant, that's a big step for me, man. All right. I didn't record the last forum curl, so I got y'all this time. Oh, and you see the pump I get from just doing all this? Good, so. Oh, I do got to get better at posing, though. Haven't trained that nearly enough. And it's wild to say, even though you work out consistently and all these things, you still have to train on how to do poses, you know. And that's low-key wild. But let me back off camera a little bit. All right, this should be a decent angle. Now, the way I do it is I go up and then I go up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. And another thing I've been changing about my mentality is, if it's easy to get, leave it for somebody else. Because if it's easily obtainable, that means that shit is worthless. And for you to work hard, a little harder to get the exact same thing, I could tell you, you'll value that thing a lot more than just the easy gratifications in life. Uh, but honestly, all of us go through these vices, have these issues, have these things holding us back. So that's completely normal. That's part of being a fucking human being. But the biggest part is figuring out your tendencies and how to overcome them. Like for me, I read the book Atomic Habits, and in the book it detailed how you have these little patterns, right? These little patterns you go through that make you snap back into like an action. Like for example, you get bored, you pull out your phone. No, like you get bored, anxious, or you're in public, you just pull out your phone and start doom scrolling. That is something all of us have done. And honestly, I have to do actions to replace that kind of your brain going on autopilot right there. So when I get bored, instead of going straight to YouTube, I'll pull up like some informational thing. I start on my Instagram, I start following pages that give you more informational descriptions rather than things that are like memes and shit like that. Paying attention to stocks, real estate, properties in the area, things like that. So instead of going on Instagram, go on Zillow, see an area you're looking at, see if there's anything new. You know, that way you can move closer to your goals instead of having these habits pulling you back. Form new habits and create a new life, y'all. Oh. All right, y'all. So now I'm moving more to an isolated workout. This is a one-handed push down. Earlier, the workout I was doing with all the supersets over there was kind of just to get your body warmed up. You want to make sure your body's as fire as it can be. That way, for me, when I'm cold, my bones start to hurt, man. So I try to warm up, get as hot as possible. And then from there, I already moved all the way up from starting on a 5, going as high as I could. And now I'm on my way working back down. And right here, I'm not really counting anymore. I'm just waiting to get gassed out. The main goal here is to honestly feel the fattest burn possible. And I like workouts like this because they actually bring out, I wouldn't say they bring out your greatness, but they make you realize where your failure is. And I'm changing my mentality to find pleasure in failure rather than getting angry, being a sore loser. Finding the lessons that are there that you have to go through in failure, because what makes us successful is being able to take any kind of failure we have and change our outlook on that. Instead of seeing it as a fucking failure, seeing it as a learning lesson. That's the biggest thing we can do. And you know, moving on to like something different, the curls. I was watching a Sam Sulek video in between sets, and I noticed he uses wrist wraps for his curls. And I was like, holy shit, why have I not thought about that? I usually tap out on a certain weight, not because I can't curl it anymore, because I feel like I can keep curling even when I get to 50s. My main issue is that my fingers start to hurt like crazy. And that's usually when I end up gassing out. So it's never the muscle, it's always the grip strength. Even though now I'm training grip strength, I'm able to pull like 4 plates on deadlift, and even still, grip is still a limitation. Especially, I tend to find that every workout day, whether it's arms, legs, chest, it deals with your fucking grip. So my grip is continuously getting fucked day in and day out. Ugh. Oof. You know, the best part about not counting and just talking shit is you don't even know what number you're on. So instead of getting that mental block where you're like, oh, I'm at my 10, I'm at my 20, and I can go ahead and gas out. You just keep going. And you don't know where your failure is. You just know it hurts too much to keep going. And of course, everything within a certain parameter. You don't want to get a weird pinch whenever you're doing these kind of workouts. That's how you end up tearing a bicep or anything like that. Oh, this tricep workout is crazy, y'all. And what I like to do with my workouts is I work out on a specific group. Like right now, we're doing tricep pushdowns. but then I switch over to something else and give it a workout or two to recover, and that way I can go hard on it again. You know, like after doing this one, I'm gonna switch to biceps. The same style of working out, but now in reverse. Instead of having the thing up, we have it down. Oof. Of course, once you get to the 10, I feel like you can theoretically curl 10 all day. I just do it until I get solid burn on a very, very low weight. And now, when I switch to my bicep workout, I start on the fives. I don't let my ego get in the way, because even at low weights, you can still develop. You might not rep out, because how many times can you curl 5 pounds? You know, but at the same time, start to feel that lactic acid build up in your arms, and you start getting sore. I'm gonna give myself a dogma, kind of mantra that I give myself every time. Uh, let's develop that, y'all. Failure is the first step towards success. That might be a good one. We gotta try to find a way to develop our mind to see every kind of defeat has a way. No, every defeat has a learning opportunity in it. There's a reason you messed up. There's a reason you didn't achieve what you're trying to achieve. It's not always because of the way you were born or your life situation. Sometimes it's I didn't win that competition because I didn't study hard enough, because I didn't practice my instrument hard enough, because I didn't role play with my targeted customer enough in my head to make it where I could answer any question that said customer might have. You know, especially when you're dealing with clients buying properties or anything like that, you want to make sure you're actually treating it like a fucking career instead of like you're just doing a stupid ass job. Ugh. And not to get into another monologue or anything like that, but shit, you know, I've always been the type of person to say it doesn't matter where you are, it matters who you are, where you are. Because back when I used to work as a line cook, my goal was to be the best line cook in that office. And that quickly turned into me running the little crew. And then from there, once I went into sales, I had the same mentality. Regardless of what I am doing, even in construction, regardless of what I'm doing, I'm trying to be the best I can be at whatever I have in front of me. And never think of life as, oh, the minute I get said job, I'll perform said way. That's like saying, um, the minute I get promoted to a manager, I'll become a manager. When oftentimes in life, you end up doing the said position before you actually get it. Like, for example, if you're planning on getting married, you have to you have to do the actions of a husband before you even get the ring. I mean, before you even get committed or give the girl a ring and become married or anything like that, you have to be worthy of that position before you come across it. Not, I'm gonna get ready when it's here. You know? So wherever you are in life, make sure you're being the best you possible. That way, if you do fuck up and fail and you're being the best you can take some solace in the fact that, hey, I may have failed, but I know it wasn't because I didn't try my hardest. I know it wasn't because I could have showed up and I didn't show up. I tried my best, and I take solace in that. Instead of making excuses saying, oh, if my genetics were better, I would have made it, or anything like that. Oof. Wait, see that, yeah? Failure is on the come up. I swear, the more I work out, the farther in the workout I am, the more brain cells I lose. I try to think about something and I try to articulate it, and then my mind just goes blank. And then it doesn't help that I have fucking ADHD brain rot. My mama might be jumping from conversation to conversation. Ooh. I swear, I'm probably the worst person to argue with because of that. I've been trying to do some Tom Platz leg days, but I'm not gonna cap. I had emulated Tom Platz one time, and I swear to God, like at 3 in the morning, I was just lying in bed, and I got the meanest hamstring fucking cramp. I was balled up like a little baby for like 20 minutes. My wife is looking at me all crazy, like, what the hell? And I told myself, I'm never working legs out again. Because that feeling was terrible, yo. Oh. Oh. All right. That was a good workout. Yeah, and whenever I move to two-handed movement on the same shit, I end up doing a kind of closer grip, but I always do like roughly around double the weight. And with this one, it's a two-part movement. First part is double-handed tricep push down, and then from there I switch it, and I use my butt against the back of this, and I pull it out, and that gives me a very good fucking burn. So let me show you how this one goes. I go like this, oof, do a solid 10. The funny thing about this one, honestly, is I don't know how much weight it is. So I don't know if I'm going heavy or light because it doesn't actually say a weight. It says like 65 resistance or whatever. And honestly, just like other Planet Fitness I go to, other ones actually say the weight. And even sometimes I'm still fucking fishy. Like, is that really 200 pounds? Because that shit felt light. Like, you know. And with this one, on the second one, I don't have a goal. What I have is a goal to failure. So it doesn't really matter how many get done. It's more about achieving that failure. That's what we're shooting for here, y'all. No ego, but failure is good. All right, so I didn't get to record some of the workouts because honestly, I got lazy. I'm not even gonna cap to you. No excuses there. But here's probably day 40. I mean, I'll adjust the day in the title. I haven't been keeping track on the calendar. I've just been consistent with my activities. Now, one thing I've been noticing, this is walking around. I'm starting to feel leaner. Like maybe it's the ab workouts that I'm doing, the eating healthy, or I don't know. I'm starting to feel healthy just walking around. I'm starting to feel a little lighter. I really should weigh myself, but I haven't bought a scale yet. I know it's easy. It's just going to Walmart, but it's kind of I'd be lazy when it comes to going out of my way to get something. Even with working out, I only really recorded my workouts because it was something that was going to happen anyways. It's not like I wasn't going to work out when I only worked out for the video. I only recorded because I was going to work out anyways. So, all right, now my favorite poses. Maybe I could do it. Woo. Catching those cramps there. Currently on creatine, taking creatine too. You know. All right. But yeah, today was a pretty solid arm day. I even got my cardio in towards the end, but a lot of good workouts coming, y'all. Just keeping steady with the workouts, making sure I'm increasing my strength, tracking my calories, tracking my macros. Now it's just do this for a year and let's see how we're gonna get. Oh, I can't wait for my abs to come in more. I really like that, Arnold. And if y'all got any tips on poses, dietary supplements, or anything that's worked out for you, feel free to drop it. But that's all I got for today, y'all.